Now we're seeing this headline by the Zimbabwe Newsday. ZANU-PF activist Rutendo Matinyarare jailed for contempt. Posted 12 hours ago from the time I'm making this video right about now, which is 18 July at 12:16 a.m. ZANU-PF activist Rutendo Matinyarare has been convicted for contempt of court after he defied court orders barring him from his continued publishing of defamatory content against Insco Africa Limited and its founder Zinona Z. Kudunaris. Now here, this article titles Rutendo Matinyarare, a ZANU-PF activist. I've never seen Rutendo Matinyarare doing activism for ZANU-PF. Anyways, before we talk about that, the question is, if he has been jailed, then why is he not in prison? What is the reason? We're going to go there right about now. Anyways, so we're seeing Rutendo Matinyarare being labeled by this newspaper, the Newsday, as a ZANU-PF activist. If anything, Rutendo Matinyarare is someone I can call an intellectual, a thinker, a theorist, or a learned person. That's how I would categorize Rutendo Matinyarare there. Now calling him a ZANU-PF activist, that is some type of cancel culture there, ostracizing, trying to exclude them from certain society. Now, when people see such headlines, it's really, really rare for anybody to think on it or to just look on it. Just that headline can manipulate. That is propaganda. However, prior cancel culture, blackballing, ostracizing would have happened leading to this. Or this is actually part of it. Then there is something called groupthink, where we can see a pushing of certain one-sided views. Then mind guards, where people can avoid certain information that may include details that they do not like. There also we see things like stereotyping there. So if Rutendo Matinyarare is anything, that guy is an intellectual and a very, very active thinker and a very, very active philosopher. So he also makes a video following this story.
So, after the decision that was made by the South African courts yesterday, I had not had time to look at it because I've been on the road, I've been busy, I've been working. And so, many people have been coming across me and they've been looking at me like they're seeing a ghost. And they're asking me, but aren't you supposed to be in prison? We heard that you've been sentenced to 3 months. And I have to say to these people, first of all, I haven't seen the judgment. But secondly, my lawyers are putting in an application to appeal. And so therefore...
Right here is saying, I haven't seen the judgment.
I'm not supposed to go to jail until this case is finished. So this case was heard in the High Court of South Africa. It is then going to go to the Supreme Court, and if necessary, we're going to take it all the way to the Constitutional Court. And we are appealing the decision that was made by the judge yesterday because we believe that that judgment was flawed. In fact, we believe it was incompetent. And the reason that we believe it was incompetent is a number of reasons. First of all, the judge did not even look at the reason why there was a contempt application. There was a contempt application because they're saying I'm in contempt of a defamation order. So for me to be in contempt of a defamation order, it means that
Now-
I have to have continued lying about INSCO. I have to be telling.
Take note here, he's saying that this allegation is alleging that he's in contempt of a defamation order. And he's saying for him to be in contempt of that defamation order, he has to be issuing a statement that is defamatory. Anyway, so this guy is being represented by lawyers. Most of lawyers are guys who just know where the door of the court is. Legal procedures are things like that there. So, him making statements on a regulated entity, even if their allegation, the burden of proof doesn't lie with him, in that he's a real person. The regulated entity has to face the allegations and actually answer those allegations. It has to. There is no other option there. It is as simple like that. So they don't have to be dealing with INSCO like they're dealing with an individual. No, it is a regulated entity.
Falsehoods, and I have to be writing false information to damage the reputation of INSCO. So that is what has to be fulfilled for the judge to make a determination that I'm in contempt of a defamation order. But we all know, for those of you that are on social media, that I have been giving information pertaining to tests that we undertook of INSCO's food. And we have undertook tests of INSCO's food that prove that they've got GMOs in their food. And it also proves that they've got glyphosate, which is a cancer-causing chemical in their food.
GMOs in the food, etc. Okay, so that one cannot be forced. Food everywhere is GMO, right? So GMO is a very vast term which means a lot of things. Genetically modified, it can mean either it's harmful or not harmful. But everything we are eating is GMO.
Which is what I said in my original video that caused us to go to court and which made INSCO go to court and say that I was defaming them. Clearly, I was not defaming them because it is factual that they've got GMOs and they've also got glyphosate. Not only that, Grain Millers Association.
So he is stating his position. No, I was not defaming. Then he states his facts again. They have these chemicals, glyco, what, and something phosphates there.
Which is also suing for defamation in South Africa on behalf of INSCO, in its own court papers outlined that our members, of which INSCO is their biggest and they are representing INSCO in this case, have been given permission by the National Biotech Authority to sell GMOs to.
All right. Here is mentioning they admitted on their own.
And the reason this activist was able to play a pivotal role in the removal of Zimbabwean sanctions is because we were given the authority to speak about those sanctions, to educate people about those sanctions, and to go to court about those sanctions until the United States government removed those sanctions through our lobbying.
All right, here he's talking about how he lobbied for the removal of the US sanctions on Zimbabwe. Maybe that is why some are blackballing him and canceling him. He has spoken on the US sanctions on Zimbabwe. Maybe there are people who like sanctions. I don't know.
Imagine if a court had said, I'm not allowed to speak about sanctions. The Americans had gone to get a defamatory order against me. Today, would the sanctions be gone? They wouldn't. But the South African judges chosen to determine what we as Zimbabweans can speak about. So we are going on review. We are going to go to the Supreme Court. From the Supreme Court, we're going to go to the Constitutional Court. And if need be, we will go outside the South African courts if they are showing.
All right, I think these guys should be taking an offensive approach to this case. In that, the case against Rutendo Matinyarare, that case existing, the case existing is actually a case that Rutendo Matinyarare has on these guys. And that case itself is the evidence that he has on them, whatever they are claiming. Just the not simple fact that they have a case against him, trying to sort of gag him, to deny him his freedom of conscience, public opinion, and also questioning the system. Facts are not opinion. Rather, we are vehicles of facts. We carry through facts.
So, after the decision that was made by...
Anyways, with that, I'm gonna sign out. So there's a lot of things these guys could be doing at the earlier stage before even taking the case to Concourt. When it goes to Concourt, it's even a clear case. Regulated entities are not even mentioned in constitutions. Another approach these guys could take can be the approach of a summary judgment, basically, where they do all the basics and then push for a summary judgment. With that, I'm gonna sign out of the yard.